Okay, first BSc second semester students, both basic chemistry and computers. In previous session, we discussed Newton's rings experiment and how can we determine the wavelength of the given source by using Newton's rings experiment. So next in this session, we are going to discuss Michelson interferometer. So Michelson interferometer arrangement and construction and the working of this array, this experiment, and how can we determine the wavelength of the given source by using this apparatus, Michelson interferometer. So which also produces interference pattern. So by using this process, minimum and maximum interference fringes and fringe width. So then we can, with the help of this fringe width, you can calculate the wavelength of the given source. Okay. Michelson interferometer. Already we discussed in first semester Michelson-Morley experiment to determine the wavelength of the light is same in all directions. That is in special theory of relativity. So the same apparatus we are using, but you can observe the interference pattern. Okay. Michelson interferometer. So the Michelson interferometer is so you can draw here. It consists of two optically plane, highly polished mirrors. Those are right angles to each other. Those are highly polished mirrors, M1 and M2. Those are perpendicular to right angles to each other. There are two optically plate glass plates, G1 and G2, of same thickness and of the same material, placed parallel to each other, G1 and G2. G1 G2. So these two glass plates of same thickness and of the same material placed parallel to each other. These two plates are also inclined at angle 45 degrees with mirrors M1 and M2. So this mirror M1 and M2. These two glass plates G1 and G2, those are inclined 45 degrees with M1 and M2. The face of G1 towards G2 is semi-silvered. The mirror M1 is mounted on a carriage which can move forward like this, forward and to and fro, forward and backward. The motion is controlled by very fine micro screw. Okay, fine mirrors M1 and M2 are provided with 3 leveling screws at their backs. So which is a telescope T. Telescope T. This is I. These 3 screws again, which has 3 screws to move these M1 and M2 forward, upward and backward. This arrangement. Okay, there is a telescope. This is a source S. A convex lens is placed in the path of the source to make a parallel beam. This is G1 glass plate. G2 glass plate. This is the simple structure of Michelson interferometer. Lens L. This is the simple structure of Michelson interferometer. So light from a monochromatic source S, which is moves through this lens L and which makes parallel. So this lens changes by parallel lines by using collimating lens. So these sources are falls on this lens, and these light beams falls on the semi-silvered glass plate G1, like this G1, a light beam G1. Then it is divided into two parts at this point. One is reflected from the semi-silver glass plate like this. One is reflected. One is reflected from the semi-silver glass plate. Which travels towards the mirror M1, and the other being transmitted, which travels towards mirror M2. M2. Okay, this is light beam 1, this is light beam 2. So the two rays falls normally on the mirrors M1 and M2. These two rays are normal. Normal means perpendicular to the surface on M1 and M2. So under these two light beams are reflected back along their original path. So when this light beam is incident on this M1 and again which reflects from the surface in the original path, this is the incident direction and this is reflected direction. Similarly, this is incident direction and this is reflected. The reflected rays again meet at G1. Okay, this is the reflected light beam, and again which is also reflected light beam, those are meet at Z1. So and this enters into the telescope. Focus telescope. The two rays entering the telescope are originally derived from the same single beam. The source is same, wavelength is same. So So there is a same single beam, hence they are in position to produce interference fringes in the field of view of telescope. So it can be observed by using again another diagrams, right? So if the noted light ray which is from ray 1 passes through G1 twice, whereas ray 2 which does not do so even once, thus in the absence of glass plate Z2, the two paths of OM1 and OM2 are not equal. OM1 and OM2 are not equal. To equalize these OM1 and OM2, we can introduce another glass plate G2. Okay. So to the introduction of Z2 is which is not essential for monochromatic light, but is the must case in white light. Okay, so this Z2 is not essential for monochromatic light, this is must for white light. So like this is M1, overview of this. This is M1. So this is G1 glass plate, which is, what is the angle? 45 degrees inclined with this M1 and M2. This is M1. M1 and this glass plate is Z. Right, a source is incident on this and which reflects from this M1. So the direction of M1 from E, one observes M1 also virtual image of M2 dash, virtual image of M2 dash, of M2 dash of M1, so formed in Z1. Thus two interference fringes come back to reflection from mirror M1 and other which is reflected from M2. This is M2, reflected from M2, focused as if it had been reflected from M2 dash. Hence the Michelson interferometer is optically equivalent to an air film between M1 and M2 dash if the distance of OM1 that is equal to x1 and OM2 dash this is M1 and M2 dash. So the distance from O2 M1 is x1 and O2 M2 dash is x2. Then the path reference between these interfering rays can be written as the path reference is equal to 2 into x2 minus x1. So when the glass plate is heavily silvered, then this case is applicable. Delta is equal to 2 into x2 minus x1. When the glass plate is thin, then delta is equal to 2 into x2 minus x1 plus or minus lambda by 2. So the interference fringes may be straight or circular or parabolic, etc., depending upon the path difference and the angle between M1 and M2 dash. Okay, so the nature of these fringes you can observe in this another diagram. So this is the simple working of Michelson interferometer. ఇది సోర్స్ అమ్మా, ఎస్. ఓకే, ఇది కాన్వెక్స్ లెన్స్. ఎందుకు కాన్వెక్స్ లెన్స్ ఇచ్చేసామంటే, సో ఏ సోర్స్ ఈజ్ పాసింగ్ త్రూ దిస్ కాన్వెక్స్ లెన్స్ విచ్ మేక్స్ ఏ ప్యారలల్ బీమ్స్. ఇలాగ అన్ని డైరెక్షన్స్లో వస్తున్న ఈ సోర్స్ నుంచి వస్తున్న లైట్ బీమ్స్ని ప్యారలల్ బీమ్స్గా కన్వర్ట్ చేయడానికి కెన్ యూజ్ కాన్వెక్స్ లెన్స్, రైట్. దిస్ మైకెల్సన్ ఇంటర్ఫెరోమీటర్ విచ్ హ్యాస్ 2 గ్లాస్ ప్లేట్స్ G1 and G2. సో 2 mirrors M1 and M2. దీస్ 2 mirrors రిఫ్లెక్ట్స్ దిస్ లైట్ బీమ్స్. ఎప్పుడైతే ఈ లెన్స్ దీని మీద, ఈ లైట్ బీమ్ దీని మీద ఎంటర్ అయిందో, సో హియర్ దిస్ 45 degrees టు ది M1 and M2, దెన్ ద లైట్ రిఫ్లెక్టెడ్ ఎట్ దిస్ పాయింట్. G1 దగ్గర లైట్ రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అవుతుంది. ఇలా రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అయిన లైట్ M1 దగ్గర ఫోకస్ అయింది. సో సమ్ పోర్షన్ ఆఫ్ ద లైట్ ట్రాన్స్మిటెడ్ త్రూ దిస్ గ్లాస్ G1 నుంచి వచ్చి మళ్ళీ ఇలాగా M2 దగ్గరికి వచ్చింది. ఎప్పుడైతే M1 దగ్గర పోయిందో దిస్ ఇస్ ద పర్ఫెక్ట్లీ రిఫ్లెక్టెడ్ కాబట్టి ఏమవుతుంది, లైట్ మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడ నుంచి మళ్ళీ బ్యాక్ రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అయింది ఇక్కడ నుంచి. సో ఇలాగ వెళ్ళిన, అంటే ఇలా మూవ్ అయిన ఇన్సిడెంట్ లైట్ బీమ్ అండ్ రిఫ్లెక్టెడ్ లైట్ బీమ్ హ్యావ్ సేమ్ వేవ్ లెంత్, సేమ్ సోర్స్ నుంచి వస్తున్నాయి, అండ్ ఫేజ్ ఈజ్ 180 degrees. ఓకే, వేవ్ లెంత్ ఈజ్ సేమ్ అండ్ ఫేజ్ ఈజ్ 180 degrees. సిమిలర్లీ దిస్ M2 దగ్గర ఫోకస్ అయింది, మళ్ళీ రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అయింది. ఇవి రెండు ఎక్కడ మీట్ అయినాయి, G1 పాయింట్ దగ్గర మీట్ అయినాయి. సో హియర్ దీస్ two light beams are superimposed at this point. Then you can observe interference pattern. ఇక్కడ పడింది కాబట్టి దీన్ని మనం అబ్జర్వ్ చేయొచ్చు, ఇంటర్ఫీరెన్స్ ప్యాటర్న్ ఇక్కడ మనం అబ్జర్వ్ చేయొచ్చు. దాన్ని ఇక్కడ చూపించాం, ఇంటర్ఫీరెన్స్ ప్యాటర్న్ ఇక్కడ చూపించాం. అయితే ఇంటర్ఫీరెన్స్ ఫ్రింజెస్ అవి ఎలా ఫామ్ అవ్వచ్చు అని చెప్పాడు ఇక్కడ. సో ఇదర్ స్ట్రైట్ లైన్స్ ఆర్ సర్క్యులర్ ఆర్ పారాబోలిక్, డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ ద పాత్ డిఫరెన్స్ అండ్ యాంగిల్ బిట్వీన్ M1 and M2. M1 M2 మధ్య ఉండే యాంగిల్, అలాగే M1 M2 మధ్య ఉండే పాత్ డిఫరెన్స్ని బట్టి ఈజ్ దేర్ ఆర్ స్ట్రైట్ లైన్స్ ఆర్ సర్క్యులర్ ఫ్రింజెస్ ఆర్ పారాబోలిక్ పాత్ అని మనం చూడొచ్చు. ఓకే, రైట్. ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ M1 and M2. If M1 is not exactly perpendicular to M2. Okay, the shape of the fringes depends on the thickness of the film and angle of incidence. Then the shape of the fringes are various values of path differences. When two mirrors M1 and M2 are not exactly perpendicular, so then the straight lines, the straight fringes are formed. The fringes are like this. Because M1 is not exactly perpendicular to M2, then M1 and M2 dash intersect in the middle. That means not perpendicular. Then if this is M1, then this is, if this is M1, first case, this is M2 dash. Okay, if these two are not perpendicular, then M1 and M2 dash are intersect at the middle. So then we can observe straight fringes. like this. Like this straight fringes. These like straight fringes at this case, at this condition. So M1 and M2 are intersect at the center. When two mirrors are inclined, is like this. This is M1. This is M2 dash. M1 and this is M2 dash. Then the fringes are those are curved fringes. You can observe these fringes like this. This is another case. M1 and M2 dash. M2 dash. Okay, so these type of fringes we can observe by these different cases. So these fringes are visible up to path reference comparatively much smaller than in the case of circular fringes. So how can we determine the wavelength of this monochromatic light? Determination of wavelength of monochromatic light. Determination of wavelength of monochromatic light. Right, first of all, the Michelson interferometer is set for circular fringes with central bright spot. If T be the thickness of the air film enclosed between two mirrors and n the order of spot obtained, then cos r is equal to 1. The condition is 2 mu t cos r equal to 2 mu t cos r, 2 mu t cos r plus lambda by t is equal to n lambda condition, where cos r is equal to 1 and mu, because the film is air, so then mu equal to 1, 2t plus lambda by 2 is equal to n lambda. So next, if now m1 is the mirror is moved lambda by 2 from m2 dash, then the additional path reference of lambda will be introduced. Hence n plus 1 bright spot, hence n plus 1 bright spot observed. Bright spot which is appears at the center of the field. The each time when m1 moves towards lambda by 2 distance, next bright spot appears at the center of the field. Let n be the number of fringes that cross the central field. When m1 be the mirror, is moved from initial position x1 to final position x2, then we will get the condition is n lambda by 2 condition is equal to x2 minus x1. The path reference is x2 minus x1 is equal to n into lambda by 2 for bright and alternative dark fringes. Therefore lambda is equal to 2 into x2 minus x1 by capital N. So the difference x2 minus x1 is measured with a micrometer screw. So we can move this mirror m1 and m2 by using screw. Then we can measure the distance between x2. First we can measure, we can note the position of this mirror x1, and after that the position of the mirror x2 we can note. Then the difference between x2 and x1, that is x2 minus x1, by using micro screw, and n be the number of fringes. So you can call it, you can measure, you can count directly. So the experiment is repeated number of times, and then mean value of lambda is, you can calculate, that is the mean value of lambda obtained. So that is lambda is equal to 2 into x2 minus x1 by n. Okay, so that is the working construction and procedure to determine the wavelength of the monochromatic light. Okay, thank you students.